Are you looking to potentially retire here in Florida? There's 3 things you may want to know. Do you know I had a customer the other day that actually asked me, do you guys have gators walking down the street there? And I was like, no, we do not, but if you want to see them, there's Gatorland. That's one of the questions that you won't have to worry about, if you're worried about gators. The other question or the other thought you may think about is, how's the weather here, especially in Central Florida where we are here in Ocala, the Villages, that kind of area. So they always ask, how many hurricanes a year do you guys get? How bad is the insurance? How bad is the flood insurance? And I go, well, we've been very lucky, and I'm knocking on wood right now because I don't want to jinx us. But being in Central Florida helps us. It kind of gets us away from the coastline. So we may get some wind, we may get some rain, but we're not on the coast, so you're not going to really see that flooding that you see, Jim, the weather guy, talking about during a hurricane season. So we're pretty fortunate that we have the luxury here of being able to go to the beaches, go to the coastline pretty easily. But when hurricane season comes up, very rarely do we see any really concerns or any type of damage. And what we tend to do is we stock up on all the good things to eat. Make sure we have lots of water, but mainly we try to eat all the ice cream that's in the freezer real quick, just in case the electric goes out. But you're not going to see a lot of issues with the weather here. We have beautiful weather. It's very hot there today. A lot of times people will call me and ask me, should they wait to actually retire before they buy a house here? And that's a really good question, because there's a lot of things that people don't think about when you're thinking about making that move to Florida. I have a client right now who's going to retire next year, has a really good job. He wants to buy something now, but he doesn't really know what his pension and his retirement income is going to look like. And the tough part for a lender is, can we qualify them knowing that they're not going to have the same income in a year when they're really thinking about moving down in about 6 months? The rule of thumb always is that we anticipate your income is going to continue for 3 years. So if you're right in that cusp of, hey, I'm going to be retiring within 6 to 9 months, what we're going to ask you for is, what will your retirement income be? And that's what we're going to qualify you on for that pre-approval, because we can't anticipate what your future income is going to be. We kind of have to know. So is it a good time to buy before you retire? It's all about whether or not you can afford to carry 2 mortgages, whether or not you're going to buy here as a second home and then convert it to a primary once you retire. So there's a lot of questions involved in that one question that we have to ask you to make sure we're putting you in the best position to make that transition to Florida. If you would like my step-by-step tutorial of how to plan your retirement and transition here to Florida, just type in buyer in the comments below.